wanted to do a quick video to show you how we're going to get started for every lecture. So this is based on the idea that you've already registered for Mastering Astronomy and everything's set up. You've gotten your account, everything's done, you've paid your $59.99 or use the bookstore code. So you're going to go to elearn.mtsu.edu and log in. And then we're going to talk about the basic 3 things you're going to do during lecture. Number 1, you're going to start up a Zoom session. Number 2, you're going to open up the chat window so you can text back and forth with the LAs and with me during lecture. And number 3, you're going to open up Mastering Astronomy Catalytics. Okay, let's talk about how to do all those different things. Let's go through the steps we're going to take for every lecture. So first of all, you're going to go to the D2L homepage for Astro 1030, and then you're going to click on the Zoom link. That's going to open up and show you 2 of the possible Zoom meetings. And we're going to go over to the astronomy lecture and go ahead and click join that right at the beginning of class time. If I'm not there, it'll start as soon as I get there, so you can just kind of wait. It may prompt you to log in here, but I've already logged in, so I think it'll just be bringing up the window. And it says, oh, we can join the audio. You can invite others. Actually, you won't be able to invite others because I'm hosting this. So this is basically the Zoom windows going now. So we're going to go back and do 2 more things before we get ready for class. We're going to go back to the course home. And then as the course is going on, you might want to have asked some questions. And the easiest way to do that is by going over to the communications link up there and clicking on the chat window. So the chat window is going to be set up, and there's going to be the astronomy lecture chat. So the astronomy lecture chat is going to allow you to ask text messages during the class. These are going to go to the whole class. The GTAs will be able to help you with some of the questions, or if you have comments or other things you want to do, I'll get them probably eventually. Running the lecture is going to be hard, so I will try to answer them as much as I can. And you can send and ask questions in the text. All right. For every class session, we're going to be doing a lot of interactive exercises. So let me show you how we're going to be doing those. So we're going to start off on the home page here and scroll down to the Pearson MyLab and Mastering link. And again, you should be registered for this already. So you should be able to find this and click on it. This is where all the homework is going to be assigned. It's also where the interactive exercises will be assigned. So when you click on this, what it's going to do is bring you to the standard MyLab and Mastering page. And I want to just show you a couple options that are going to be available there. So let's go ahead and click on this. And we come up to this interface that you've seen before. And one of the things you see at the top of the page is something that says, Welcome to Mastering Astronomy under the student links. So we're going to click on Welcome to Mastering Astronomy. And this is a quick summary of all the different things that you're going to be doing for the class, including the interactive parts. All right, let's go ahead and click on that. This page is an overview of the different things going on with the textbook class. So notice H01 and H02, the first 2 assignments, are listed in the bottom of the page. But in the upper right, you can see something that says Learning Catalytics. So that at the beginning of every lecture, click on Join Session. And what that's going to do is bring you into a Learning Catalytics session. Once you've clicked on Join Session, another page comes up in just a moment here. There we go. So if you notice, there's a session number, and there's a couple things like I don't understand, refresh, and send email to an instructor. But what's going to happen is questions are going to appear on this page once you've logged into it. So once you're here, I can send questions to ask you and all the other students about your understanding of the material we're discussing. So this is kind of like clickers in a normal classroom. It allows us to have this feedback both for you and for me about how the lecture is going. So let's actually show you what a question looks like. Okay, here we go. This is a pretty standard multiple choice question. How many constellations are there in the entire sky? And if you notice, there's 5 choices, and you can click on any of these to answer. Once you've clicked on them, you can go back and rechange your answer if you want to. But there's also the don't understand and send message to instructors here. We're going to try and use the chat in D2L for some of the ongoing messages, but we can use this as well. So let's just show you how you respond with this. Answering the questions is really easy. You just click on one of the answers, and then it highlights what your answer is. You also notice there's a couple other things. You can change your response, or you can hide your response if you want to. Changing your response is easy. If you decide that you don't like 88 and you want to go back and change it to something else, you can do that really simply. So once I think the class is ready, I can actually show you the answers of the entire class. So here's a screen just showing that. So this display is showing 3 different rounds in the question. Round 1 was a first attempt, round 2, second attempt, and so on. So it shows you 2 things, what the class has answered and also what the correct answer was. So the class answered, 100% of the people in the class answered C the first time, and then nobody tried it the second time, and then the third time they answered D, which happens to be the correct answer. At the bottom of the page, there's a couple other options here. The I get it now or I still don't get it. So those are helpful to me to know how well you're understanding the material we're covering. At the end of the class, it'll go back to this page and it'll say lecture 1 has ended, or whatever lecture it is has ended. And it also says out of the number of questions, you've answered so many correct. So if you try to come back in, it won't work because the class is over, but it does say the class session has been terminated. So just be aware that this is something that's going to come up over and over again. Later on, you can go back and review older sessions and see how you did. You can go look at your past scores and look at your past results. This gives you a nice way to kind of see how you've been doing. So again, the past results, try going back in the session, it doesn't work, but you can see how you did in previous results and look at the previous questions. So just to recap, remember that for every lecture, you're going to do 3 things. Start the Zoom session, open up the chat window, and then finally open up the catalytics so you can actually do the response. If you do all that, we'll be able to do the lecture without any problems. Thanks.